Hello. Hello. Hi, President Sirleaf, and welcome to Liberia. My name is President Sirleaf. I'm the psychosocial chairperson, and these are members of the Survivor Network.
Thank you for bringing in to see us. Hello. What's your name? Glad you made it.
He says he's very glad you made it, eh?
And what's your name?
My name is Prez. Survivor.
Talk loud a little bit, eh?
I'm Prez F. Mova, a survivor and a member.
Welcome to Liberia. My name is T. Dossier. I'm a Ebola survivor.
I'm Henry D. Tony Jr. I'm a Ebola survivor. I'm the Vice President of Ebola Survivals Network.
And are you working with others now in the network?
Yeah.
And how is it going? Is it helping people adjust back to life?
It's about how we can coordinate ourselves together to work together.
Is there a strong sense of solidarity among the survivors?
We have a lot of things on the issue of Ebola survival, like some stigma, discrimination that we have been filled with, evictions.
Welcome. I'm Patrick Asfali. I'm the leader for survivors in the country.
What's your biggest challenge?
The challenge of survivors being reintegrated fully into the society. They are facing a lot of problems since they came from the ETU. We are not being really reintegrated into society.
How are you, sir?
I'm bad, sir.
Just say again what you said to me. I'm interested in had Ebola. So could you, I know you're the spokesperson, could you just describe what the problems are like?
Yeah, we have problems since coming from the ETU. At first, when we were diagnosed, we lost all of our materials in our home because our family members are afraid to come in contact with those materials. And then when we came back, the community dwellers, our police don't want to see we lost our job. And then we are suffering from evictions because of stigma. Our police have to leave from one community to go to another community. And then the issue of being fully reintegrated into society to live our normal life, that have not been done. So among all of the issues, and we have a lot of medical complications. Some facing eyes problems, sore legs, internal body pain, mental health conditions. It's very worrisome. We need a kind of emergency and quick attention.
Do you all still find people who are afraid to be around you because you had Ebola?
Yeah, even after I was discharged from the ETU, my community refused to take me in. I had to spend 100 days at the ETU after I was discharged. And as I'm speaking to you, there are lots of others. You see, the major thing is that Ebola came and Ebola is gradually going away. But stress and stigmatization, which is the legacy of Ebola, is still within our society. And that is what is beating us down, that's what is killing us down, because society refused to accommodate us again.
Yeah.
So what can we do to make it better?
We just need a timely intervention as it relates to helping us getting back on our normal feet, on our basic. We need survivors who are doing businesses, who are going to school. We need those survivors to go back to school and then go back to do their normal business. Those survivors have lost their job because of stigma. We need them to really go back. So as it relates to your intervention, we need your timely intervention in our life.
Liberia, for us survivor, we have a lot of different problems. Some of our females suffering from stomach problem, some are suffering from impotency. A few days ago, we were in my GB asking some of our survivors. Some said, since they came from the ETU, they have not been doing anything like women business after the 90 days because they cannot erect. And then now we face with different problems. Discriminations is one of our hardest problems. And some of us suffering from low memory. For me, I'm quick to forget, and my feet is very numb. I don't feel it when I'm walking, I stand. Most often I don't feel it. And then we understand to know that we have been denied in the society. Personally, we incorporate ourselves to be friendly with one another because other people who did not contract the Ebola virus are not friendly with us. That's why you see in Liberia, for we the dealer, we are in contact with almost all the survivors in Liberia. A few days ago, we were in Bon counties. We were able to coordinate with one another because the society is not incorporating us. So we are asking you to help us incorporate or get back to our livelihood process and see how we can get back to job and be able to do things for ourselves.
Have you gone back to work yet?
Yeah, I started work. That's what
This lady's a healthcare worker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a physician assistant and a mental health clinician trained by the Carter Center. I work with the SOS Clinic. I'm back at work. I started work because I contracted the virus from the hospital. So they just had to take me back.
And do you find that a lot of the survivors have other health problems now because of that?
10 person in one family. You got depression, you got traumatic stress disorder. You see most of them like that. Some survivors.
I'm President Clinton, Dr. Master of Case Management, and we're trying to develop a clinical network for survivors because many of the problems they have are things that we don't know about, that's not really well written in the literature. Patrick is part also of a study to look at survivors that NIH is commissioning to have happen. But I think if you hear them, the things they talk about, mostly access to jobs, access to some kind of income, and access to health care. Many survivors lose their eyesight or have poor visibility or different kinds of eye problems. And so I would say that that's probably the most immediate thing, is because the trajectory of eye disease associated with Ebola is fairly fast and rapid. But there are a range of other health conditions that they can all attest to, even people sitting here, that they experience.
Let me just say, first of all, we're here because we want to try to we don't want the world to forget about this. 5 days from now, you will reach your magical period of time when you won't have had any new Ebola cases, and it's supposed to start people coming back to Liberia, investment coming back in, people going back to work, all these good things. But we've got a very, very large number of people who have survived this who need support still. And we want to do what we can to help. So I'm grateful that you came out here, and I want all the people in your country to see that nobody should discriminate against you. You don't have to be afraid. If you survived it, you're okay. And you're like everybody else. We follow the same public health rules now until everybody's absolutely sure it's over. But I can imagine that a lot of you didn't feel so comfortable coming out here today, but I'm grateful to you because we have to get past this stigma. We can't have your fellow countrymen and women thinking there's something wrong with you because you had Ebola. They should celebrate with you that you survived and make a commitment to help you deal with these other health problems that come up. And by being here today, you're sending a very important message to everybody in the country to don't be afraid, be happy. Let's figure out what to do now. Madam President. Yeah. We could we take a picture with you?
Absolutely. Maybe we'll stand behind you. You'll stand in front of the president.
No, we're not looking.
Perfect. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent.
Bless you. Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
All right, guys, we're gonna go preset in that room, so if you can follow us this way, that'd be helpful. Guys, come on, if you want to set up, you gotta go now.
You didn't take long to switch sides, Moses. You're on the other side.
Okay, thank you. And we're now going to our formal program. And so we ask the President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, to welcome us.
You know, I've said to President Clinton and to Chelsea how much you welcome them being here. And to all of you who have joined them in this delegation and those who are here, that we're here on the common cause and see what we can do. Having come together as a team, as a country, a nation, people, region, partners to be able to solve Ebola. How do we go forward? That forward is how do we build a healthcare system that's going to have a quality care to ensure that there will be no recurrence and that we can share our experiences with our neighbors to make sure that they too get to zero. We all stay to zero and we start to build our systems. I don't have to say more than that. President Clinton, Chelsea, welcome again. I saw you earlier. I think just coming here adds more impetus to what we're trying to do to move forward in improving the healthcare system.
Thank you. Just before I ask President Clinton to make his remarks, I would just like to inform you that he's not here with us long because of time. So let's bear with him. President Clinton.
Well, thank you very much. I will be brief. I'm honored to be here with my daughter and our friend Dr. Paul Farmer, who is also on the board of the Health Initiative. I'm grateful to Dr. Moses Masakwai and the other CHI employees who have been with you through this whole challenge. And we're here, first of all, to say we're just 5 days away from being able to celebrate, in theory, Liberia's return to normal life. And so I want to say two things. First, you have to make it in practice, which means the citizens of this country have to embrace one another and not be afraid of those who went through this terrible ordeal and survived, and many of whom still have health care challenges. And second, the rest of the world, which responded so strongly, and some of our partners, including our friend here from Last Mile Health, and all the astonishing things that he's done. Thank you, Dr. McClellan. We got to figure out how to keep this from happening again. And this health workforce plan, we strongly support. All over the world, people are going to be vulnerable to epidemics like this until we have community health workers who are trained to identify problems and shut them down early in very remote rural areas and small towns. We are kidding ourselves if we think that we can redeem the losses that Liberia has suffered by just simply thanking those who bravely soldiered through the crisis. The only way to redeem the losses is to make sure it doesn't happen again by building a genuine healthcare system. And believe me, training community health workers, training health managers, training nurse midwives and others is so much cheaper than letting this happen again. And so we're here to support you, Madam President, and to commit that we'll do whatever we can to work through all the roadblocks so that you can do this. And I know that you want Sierra Leone and Guinea to be able to do the same thing. But I think the fact that you are ready and you've come up with this plan, we endorse this. And I think the world should endorse it. And I thank you.
Thank you, President Clinton. Chelsea, you have a word for us.
Well, thank you, Dr. Don. Madam President, thank you for welcoming us so warmly. I want to echo my father's gratitude for all of the generosity that we've experienced today, and our gratitude and great pride in Dr. Moses Massaquoi and the entire CHI team who has been working alongside the Health Ministry and Madam President's office. To echo what my father said, and as I know all of us around the table believe, truly rebuilding is the only adequate response to what happened, and to honor all of the suffering that has been endured. And since, as I understand it, I'm the last formal speaker on the program before we open it up to the working session, I just want to reserve the last little bit of time that I have for a moment of silence for all those who have lost their lives, particularly all of the health workers. Thank you very much, Dr. Don.
Thank you. Thank you. We will go back into our program and continue with the design of the health report.